Just about set, ready to go. Vokatitis and Wagee tip things off. And we are underway. Sooners get it first, go to work. You mentioned the losing streak. They have been close. It has been Heartbreak Hotel, it feels like, in 3 of the last 4 setbacks. From 15, and a good start for Xavier Brown. Starting 5 for the Horns, led by Dailyn Swain, the 28 points per game that he's been averaging the last 3. Jordan Pope went off against the Sooners last year in 2 tilts. He'll get the start again for head coach Sean Miller. And for the Sooners, how about this? John, the same starting 5 in every single game this year, all 21. And the leading scorer, you talked about Nigel Pack and Xavier Brown. I did 16 points per.
That's rare for 2 reasons. Number one, everybody's got to stay healthy. Number 2, you barely know who your team is. I think a part of that lineup being consistent is the fact that you don't have confidence is what you have coming off the bench. From the basket with 9 seconds on the shot clock after playing good defense.
Horns coming off a setback at Auburn, a game in which they led by double figures. Right around halftime, the Tigers came roaring back at home. Texas with 3 wins against ranked foes in league play this year, and a steal by Pack. Pack off and running. Got it swiped away, and Pope picks it up. Sooners pitching a shutout thus far, and the Horns back to work. Dailyn Swain inside was bumped, and the count initiates the offense. It gets Vokatitis the basketball in scoreable spots, if you will.
Well, I think he creates the advantage. He may not initiate the offense all the time, but they get the ball to him and they ask him to create the advantage that the rest can benefit from. So I think a big piece of that is they don't really have a point guard.
Pack from downtown, and it's all net. So a 3-point possession already, a chance for more here.
I wouldn't have called it, but I get it.
Pack surveys. That'll be a 3. And the Horns have it. Yelatonsiv on the floor early for head coach Porter Moser.
Good chance for you to get that name right early, too.
We like to do that, right? We've been working on it. Tremont Martin with a mid-range. That's his shot, not this time. Sooners by 3 with possession. And Xavier Brown took a tumble. No contact. It's a good no call there. And the held possession will go the other way.
I think good start for both teams. I think Texas does need to be aggressive early. I think they could thrive with a little bit of pace on this game, mainly because they've got more depth. Now, they don't have great depth either, but I do think the depth for Texas is a little bit better than what Oklahoma's going to have coming off the bench.
I mean, you look at OU's numbers and its stats this year, and it's really the starting 5. And may try to sprinkle in Dayton Forsyth a little more today. Vokatitis with a touch to make it a 1-point game.
And that's good for Texas. I asked Sean Miller if he was the point guard of this team, what would you do? And the first thing he said was, get it to Vokatitis. And I was like, okay, you're right. That's something that they have to make a conscious effort. If he's got position, he's got to get the ball.
Pack will be hounded by Pope. 8 on the shot clock, and another 3, and this time it's buried. Yelatonsiv from deep. He had 4 in 1 game just 2 weeks ago.
If you want to get Vokatitis out of the game, the best way to do it is make him work defensively, particularly in a ball screen pick and pop situation.
Vokatitis wanted the foul call, didn't get it. Sooners by 4, and now it's Swain. Heidi, 5 of 6 his last time out at Auburn, not this time. Tay Davis on the move. Little shake and bake, he forgot the ball. Somehow got it back.
That was more like a shaky bake.
Xavier Brown off glass.
Is that fair?
That's valid. Hey, Sooners off to a good start. We've seen this in some of their recent games. Go back to Arkansas, their last time out midweek. We mentioned the game against Missouri and Alabama. They were so close in games in which they played so well to begin.
There's times when you watch games and you say they don't deserve that. I would say that Missouri game, nobody really deserves that. 2 buzzer beaters.
Shot clock at 5, Tremont Mark. Back iron.
Defense so far been good for Oklahoma, obviously taking things away inside and then defending the perimeter. Offensively, they've got weapons.
Dailyn thought about it. And now it's Pack. He's trying to spring loose for a three. He does, and he connects. His second triple. It's 13-4. It's still
It's
here.
not snowing, dog.
I mean, I think it snowed a little bit last night. Big possession early for the Horns. Dailyn Swain. 2 free throws. 2 of the 4 points for UT. And an air ball on the fadeaway.
A lot of clappable defensive possessions for OU. That's a good way to start a game.
2 split.
This guy who's going to play anywhere from the 2 to the 5 position.
Nigel Pack's got 8, including 2 threes. The foul was on Pope. That's his first. 5 minutes in, it is all OU. Rory checks in for the first time for the Horns. Corner 3, no. And saved. It pops out to Wilcher. Fresh 20, here's Jordan Pope. And finally claimed by the Sooners. Dailyn has been active in the early going with a 3 and that rebound. And the penetration by Reed.
Never a good thing when defensive transition ends up with a bunch of guys looking around with their hands in the air. Poor communication gives up baskets.
Another big possession for Texas. Wilcher outside to Pope, and the runner from 15 is good.
That was better action. There was actually rhythm in the movement. And sometimes you have to create rhythm with ball movement. That time they did it, and Jordan Pope was able to get a nice little runner on the baseline.
Stops a run of 5 straight misses for the Horns. And Pope was electric in this building a year ago. In fact, in 2 games against OU, combined for 48 points. Brown left open for a minute. Couldn't get the bounce. If you talk to Joe Lunardi this time of year, he has Texas currently, John, his last team in the field. So every game becomes paramount for this team. And its first-year head coach, Sean Miller. A resume featuring those marquee wins. Some close losses, including on the road at Auburn on Wednesday night. Horns trail by 11 early here.
That play didn't work out for Oklahoma, but that shows the maturity of Nigel Pack. He made the right play.
Vokatitis, no. It's a running jump hook in the paint.
Well, that's what happens when you don't get the ball for a while. You take a tougher one.
Lob it out to Reed. Back to Brown. Brown. And a tip in.
Starting to see a little mismatch there. Vokatitis gets stuck on Brown. Brown attacks. It's the offensive rebounder who benefits because Vokatitis is covering the ball.
Dailyn averaging 5 points per game already with 5 points here in the Red River rivalry.
Thanks for capping it off with his name.
I'm trying to help you out. There you go.
I'll get it. It's just in the moment. It's difficult.
You're throwing strikes right out of the gate. 19-6, as are the Sooners. Dailyn was picked up by Vokatitis. Nigel Pack, no. Box out was there. And some contacts.
They absolutely have. I like picking up full court. You got to wonder legs over time. You get tired, particularly down low. You've got to be careful with your bigs, especially how hard Vokatitis works down low. It'll wear you out.
Horns have missed 8 of 9. Is there anything you want to see different? Because it feels like Texas offensively has been a little stagnant to start here.
Sometimes when you're trying to feed the post, you're sacrificing space. And you limit the places you could pass the ball. They've got limited in the first few minutes of this game to skip passes to create space that was unable to get with Vokatitis down low. Smaller lineup on the floor. I'm looking to see if they can create space with this group.
Swain has created quite a bit of space in his last 3, averaging more than 28 points per. Dump off to Weaver, and that's a good start.
I think Weaver's a guy who probably has to play bigger minutes in this contest because he can kind of fit anywhere. You don't have to do anything for him, and he just finds the right spot.
Now, we've talked to him this year, and you referred to him as the glue guy, and player that seems to make all the right decisions for the most part for Sean Miller. I've referred to him as that. You talk about his decision-making.
Well, I say so much that I forget what I say.
Sometimes I remind you.
Yep.
Off the screen, here's Pack. That's a long 2. And this is where Swain can be dangerous, initiating the offense for the Horns. Instead, it's the handoff to Wilcher. Heidi was open for a moment. Now it's Swain. In and out from downtown. And there's Weaver on the deck. Saves the possession. Swain. He'll shoot 2.
So many rules that, in a way, it favors defense or creates a game that favors defense.
Don't forget Sunday, that's tomorrow on ESPN, also on the ESPN app. The Women's College Game Day crew will be at Moody Center down in Austin. 2-pack of games. Afterwards, Baylor, WVU, and Morgantown to 1 o'clock on ESPN. Then over on ABC, the Red River rivalry and a top 10 showdown on the women's side. Oklahoma and Texas. Chavez, Madison Booker, Rory Harmon, and what a scene that will be. The Lone Star State tomorrow afternoon on ABC.
It's Moody. It never disappoints. That place is awesome. Mainly because we get our own dressing room.
We do like that.
Yeah, we do.
Dayton Forsyth on the floor. He's got 2 bad ankles. Starting to heal up a little bit. Try to get some much-needed minutes for Porter Moser this afternoon. Yellow Santev. He's got 7.
Been a little bit of an accident in there. The ball got deflected, but he maintained control and was able to finish it. Looked pretty.
Averages 5 per game, has 7 already. Weaver saves the errant throw. Halfway home in the first.
Really extending this defense out.
Forsyth forced the turnover against Wilcher. Almost in Oklahoma. Sooners with their largest lead at 14. 3 state titles, that's a lot.
Yeah,
that's a lot of hardware.
We like winners.
Mark picked up Jadon Jones.
See, the problem is Tremont Mark was in a situation where he could score, but he couldn't score because Vokatitis was on the block. The energy was, I don't know, how would you describe it today? It was.
I thought it was good.
It's like tempered.
I thought it was good.
We'll call it focused.
And
right?
shoot around.
Focused energy. But they're delivering so far.
Davis. And Vokatitis clears. Horns already in a danger zone on the road. Vokatitis, the hesitation in the Euro.
Short roll, we talked a lot about that with Sean Miller. It doesn't have to be get Vokatitis the ball in the paint. It's use him in a ball screen situation and then trust him to make a play in a short roll situation.
8.5 minutes remaining in the first. Tap back, Sooners, Xavier Brown. And now it's Swain. To Weaver. Second time we've seen that action, and the second time it pays off.
Weaver getting the easy 8-footers that are far more difficult.
Saw the rejected pass out of bounds moments ago, defending Jordan Pope. Nearly had a chance for the and one moments ago, too.
But you also root for the guy that you know is dealing with 2 bum wheels.
On cue. To Jones in the corner.
How'd that shot look to you?
Difficult.
All right.
That would be one word to describe it.
Like difficult to go in?
Yes.
Yeah.
Vokatitis and Mark will play the 2-man game, and here comes Pope. And the rotation, beautiful on this possession. Weaver from downtown. Well, Kendall Weaver.
Important on the defensive end, important in the energy department, and he knocks down shots and gets open. But that was the best possession of the day so far for Texas.
14-point advantage for the Sooners has been sliced in half. John Crispin, Roy Philpott here at Lloyd Noble. And poked out of bounds by Tremont Mark with 7:12 to go. Everything in the SEC this year. If you talk to coaches, Oklahoma's lost 7 games in a row. The rest of the conference, plenty of respect for Porter Moser and this team this year, as close as they have been in some of those last-second setbacks.
In conference play anymore, it's just every game feels wide open. some of the best teams in the country, you still know they can be beaten, and that's what Tremont Mark does. How about that for an analysis?
Mark
That's
on
what
the
he
attack.
does.
Yes, it is. But I mean, the mid-range and the attack of the rim, it's where he's been sensational. You talk about those close setbacks for OU, and if you're a Sooners fan, just turn away from the screen for a moment, because all three of those were there for the taking. The Mizzou game on the road was there twice, the end of regulation and at the end of OT, before Pierce and then Mitchell happened.
That's Jordan Pope wanting to get the ball inside, but not having the angle to do so.
What is that angle? Needs to be 45 degrees. Another bucket for Pack. He's now in double figures.
It needs to be enough to be able to get the ball in there.
Okay. So whatever that
you
is
mathematicians
required.
and all your numbers.
I'm thinking 45 degrees.
You've got to take one extra dribble towards the sideline so that he can keep the defender on his back, but stays on the top side. Now the pass is inside. You keep the defender on your back. Now he's away from the basket. You got an easy layup. Sounds easy, but, you know, they are battling down there.
45 degrees, got it outside to Swain. Against Davis, lost the grip, no traveling violation. He wanted the foul and a chance for three. Instead, a tough bucket in traffic.
I think they say he lost the ball a little bit on the way.
Pack the other way, in and out. Forsythe. Back to Pack, he's left wide open. He's gonna make that shot 9 times out of 10.
Nigel Pack doesn't get a lot of easy ones. To that point, sometimes the open shots for really good shooters are the most difficult shots. Why? Because you're not used to getting them and they have a different rhythm into the shot. It almost feels weird.
Pack has 13 of OU's 28. Bocatitis, a great lob from Weaver. Collects and finishes. Forming's taking place in the Big 12 right before we came on the air.
No, you didn't hear what he said.
What?
2 court stormings in the same game.
Yes. Oh, in the same game.
This is a Texas team that has started to find the game now. I do think they started to find it when they went to the smaller lineup. Bocatitis off the floor again. They had better ball movement. They had guys that could break you down off the bounce, and they had space to work.
And you feel like there's more of a sense of urgency with Texas on this end of the floor, and the floater by Wilcher.
Yeah, but with no Bocatitis there on either block, there's no secondary defender, so a simple rip through leads to a nice little run.
A 14-point lead now at 4. And the Horns have made 7 straight field goals after OU's hot start. See if Pack can get going, and he can. The runner off glass with 15 now.
That was good defense, just more veteran offensive execution from Nigel Pack. Just kind of flaring it out, coming back off the ball screen.
Troy, and inside to Heidi. The transfer from Purdue. With the dunk, we think about his skill set. It's more from 3-point range. Lead back down to 4. Boy, Wilcher right in the kitchen of Pack. So no Bocatitis, and Texas has been a team in motion these last couple of possessions.
I think it's been good with Troy as a ball mover out around the perimeter. The game just opens up. Your 5-man is your ball mover and screener from the top of the key. It opens the floor. Little simple short roll. He's still not occupying the block. There's so much space on the floor. Skip pass gives Cam Heidi a nice 23-footer.
5 of 6 from 3 at Auburn, his first triple of this one. And the lead down to 1. The Horns have made 9 consecutive shots from the floor. And now the defense has picked up a notch or 2. There's a steal. And Texas in search of its first lead here at the end of the first half. John, this has been kind of the story of OU's season. They get off to good starts. They have the lead in the second half, and then it falters down the stretch. Mark, an air ball from the corner. Darion Reed.
Almost the behind the scenes of the inside the NBA. And just kind of hearing Ernie talk about how, you know, he's a professional broadcaster. And he's the job he's doing with that crew is a little different, right? And how long it took to kind of figure out where to let him go and who to let go and how to do it. I think it was fascinating.
Vokatitis to Weaver, fouled on the...
Because it gives you a little firepower off the bench, but he also establishes an energy for the game. I think the initial energy that you put on the game matters. And if you don't have a true lead point guard, it's hard to establish the game. So you rely on energy players to establish the way the game's going to be played. I think Weaver plays a big part of it. Maybe that's too psychological and philosophical. It's just how I feel.
We support how you feel. There's Brown from deep. Brown connects.
Feels good, too. You got multiple players on the floor that can shoot behind a ball screen. If you go underneath, that's dangerous.
Shot clock is off. One more shot coming for Texas. And it's Dailyn Swain. No good. Now the 14 in the midst of a 21-7 run. The lead was once 14. It was tied at 30 before the three by Brown. And here we go to start the second. Sooners have lost 7 in a row after picking up that SEC opening victory against Ole Miss. Variety of close losses at home and on the road. They'll try to turn the tide tonight. Davis, the pump fake, and Swain able to hold his ground
with the big and then scramble out to a three-point shooter. Like this lineup for OU.
Back with the coverage by Pope. No matter, forces one up. And the Horns with a rebound. That was Heidi. Now Texas currently the last team in the field according to Joe Lenardi. Technically a quad one opportunity in terms of the net rankings today for the Horns. Oklahoma is right at that cutoff line. The net ranking of 75. See if that holds by the end of the season. Vokatitis, 5 to shoot. Heidi left wide open. Cam Heidi, and we're tied at 33.
As soon as that ball got skipped out to a wide open Cam Heidi, you saw Porter Moser kick his leg out because he knew, darn it, we did everything right almost.
I mean, he's shooting over 52% from three-point range this year. Cam Heidi, he had some moments in that Final Four run by Purdue just a couple of years ago. And now in Austin. Here's Brown.
So many guys. Nigel Pack and Brown could just come off ball screens and then play based on whatever the defense does. If they trail hard, you get a tight curl, put a different kind of pressure on the defense. If they don't trail hard, you got three-point shooters.
Pack right on top of Heidi. The lob inside Vokatitis. That was too easy. Precision pass from Heidi.
It was. I'm going to start keeping an eye on seconds in the paint because I feel like he was there for a while.
Arion Reed.
It's something that coaches would despise more than an analyst thinking he knows what the heck he's talking about. Like as if I spent every day with that program. I'm just saying I like the energy.
Heidi to skip pass. Pope left open for a moment. And Vokatitis was held.
Trying position. That's why I asked Sean Miller, how many times does he get fouled before ones that get called? He's like, yeah, he does. And he does draw a lot of fouls, but cylinder.
Need rules analyst, we have him.
Like, that was great.
Just mic up KB Burnett.
Man.
2-point lead. Texas back to work. Horns have never led in this game. Heidi thought about changing it right there. And instead, a little dipsy-do right at the rack.
Wow, having Heidi, another guy that you have to buy on a pump fake. If you're not there and he pump fakes, you're closing out too hard to the point where he can get all the way to the rim. And I think his athleticism is one of those things that not enough people know about.
Wagee back on the floor, had those 2 early fouls. And now it's Tay Davis. Pack has been the Oklahoma offense, not this time. Fresh 20 on the swipe, right to Reed.
Little stagnant feel for Oklahoma offensively. It's starting to feel like they're starting to search a little bit more as opposed to playing, which got him. This is good.
Backdoor cut for Nigel Pack.
So much concern about coming off that handoff and giving up a 3 that the back cut's wide open so long as there's no one occupying the block.
Yeah, John, it feels like OU has started the second half the way that Texas started the game.
Yes, like they're trying to find the game offensively.
Trying to spot Vokatitis. Pope thought about the lob.
I got 9 seconds in the paint for Vokatitis.
There's a spin. How about the footwork?
I don't care. He never left. It's really hard to cover the paint if you never leave. Well, I do care. It was a nice move.
A fleet of foot.
But I would love to go back and clock that one. He never left the paint.
Nate Oates was talking about Florida's bigs this week and had a similar thought. Inside to Reed, where OU is in the course of the season at 1-7 with all of the close setbacks.
I also feel like more now than ever, because the game flies year to year. The game is so different. Year to year, teams are so different. Like the Final Four run feels like a lifetime ago. And I was in Chicago for that. That was fun.
At Loyola, Chicago.
I think they're completely different conversations with a lot of nuance. Caleb Wilson might be in there too.
Tied at 40. John Crispin, Roy Philpott. 6th time today we've been tied. And Texas now with its first lead.
I like those little hoops. I got kids.
Right behind the backboard there.
I can find a spot on the wall.
Got to be careful. You got to anchor that in into the sheetrock.
Find a stud, bro. Come on, man.
Just saying.
I go to trade school. I know these things.
Pack. Skip pass. Spots Reed. Great look in the delivery.
And they've been trying to find the game here in the second half. And the same thing that allowed Texas to find the game is allowing Oklahoma to find the game. That's good ball movement that creates rhythm within the offense.
Great game brewing here in the Red River rivalry. First of 2 meetings between these long-standing rivals. Weaver, no. Be the same 2 teams down in Austin the final Saturday of the regular season in the SEC, a conference which, according to Joe Lunardi, still has 10 teams in the NCAA tournament in his latest bracketology updates. Is it too soon to talk bracketology in your mind?
Why do you ask me that question when you know I'm going to say yes? I don't
like
want to
a
hurt my man Joe Lunardi.
Right.
I appreciate it, and people do like talking about it. So yes, you can, but I think it's done more so as kind of a barometer as to where we are and what needs to happen.
Tremont Martin, the three-pointer, no, and the rebound grab on the run by Nwankwo.
Let me clarify that. It's not too early to have the conversation about where we are and what could or needs to happen. It's too early to say this is what's going to happen.
Makes sense, and there's Reed. He'll make sense on the attack.
2 in a row. Good to get Reed going. He really didn't give you anything in the first half.
Dailyn Swain gets the bounce inside in traffic. And Sean Miller right in the ear of KB Burdett back down the court. He wanted a foul. Dailyn Reed has scored OU's last 6 points. And Weaver controls a rebound.
That's good action and a good shot, though. That's something you can build off of.
Titus put the shoulder down, lays it up and in, and no call.
Titus is going to be a villain by the end of this season.
His skill set has been on display. Latancev wanted the charge, didn't get it. He'll shoot the 3 on the other end. Reed. Now, Dailyn Reed, a former member of the ESPN 100, and our good friend Paul Biancardi, building those rankings for all these years. The godfather of college basketball recruiting, as Wilcher has a kick by Brown. It was great being here courtside. We saw the Hall of Famer Barry Switzer.
That was awesome.
Off to our left, enjoying the game. No fur coat tonight, but it's great to see, Coach. We got Brent Venables right behind us. Stars are out here in Norman supporting Porter Moser and his basketball team. Pope inside, forced that one up and in, and Jordan Pope now with 4 points. He torched OU a year ago, and really the first time we've called his name today.
Well, they've done a good job running him off the three-point line, and that's the type of shot he's going to get. That's a tough shot to make. May have gotten fouled as well.
We went through the numbers. 48 points in 2 games against Oklahoma. Forsythe from deep. The Oklahoma native and sharpshooter.
Something better about when the guy who looks like he took off his cheerleader uniform and put a basketball jersey on.
Swain was stripped. Nwankwo. Oh, and Weaver went. The regular season last year. John Crispin, Roy Philpott, the lead for the home team at 6. Wilcher hit a 3 moments ago. Tremont Mark's been held in check so far tonight. Just 2 points. The Arkansas-Houston transfer. Dailyn Swain split the double team, contact, and the blocking foul.
Love it. There was a meeting and they're like, look guys, these charges are annoying. We're just never going to call them again. We're just never going to call charges again. I'm all right with that, but that defender was set. I mean, he was planted.
Swain with 12. Back to a 1-possession game.
And I still annoyingly love that it was called a block. I know I'll get killed for that, but it's I like offense.
You're not going to get killed for it if you're not on social media.
That's true.
You really don't know. Darion Reed. Oh, gets the bounce off the front of the rim.
You can say whatever you want behind my back. I'm all right with it.
Reed in double figures. He's got 13. The lead back to 5. Final day of January. Heart of League play has arrived. Tremont Mark now with 4.
That's bigger than you know. Just getting him going and figuring out where he's going to be able to get shots. Typically those shots in mid-range in the middle of the floor. But he has had a limited impact on this game. And that's a problem.
Nigel Pack has enjoyed a huge impact with 21. Wilcher did a great job to stay right on top of him. Now it's Reed again. The spin. Poked out by McGee and an open 3. How big was that? Xavier Brown.
McGee's done a good job of doing that. There have been a number of tip backs that they've been able to get. Some have gone to Texas, but he's kept balls alive, and it ends up leading to an open 3. Now, I think Oklahoma was really good with Forsythe on the floor. I think he did a great job out there. He does different things, makes simple plays, but getting Brown going is key here in the second.
I'm not sure McGee knew where he was going to swat the basketball to, where it was going. Didn't matter. It landed right. Number 1's hands again. Reed to Davis, and Swain swipes it. Wilcher left open.
Ooh.
And Mark.
He came onto the floor. He makes simple plays. He moves the defense. He draws 2 off the bounce, and then he finds 1 and creates a chase.
Heidi left wide open. A great play. Out of the timeout, his 3rd 3.
Goodness, there's one guy you don't want to leave open. It's Cam Heidi. He's just been lights out, especially when he's able to step into it. And that cross-court pass was one where he was already in the pocket as he caught it.
Cam Heidi entered this game shooting 52% from 3. That average has gone up. Now 3 of 4 here in Norman.
Now what I'm watching now is what non-winning plays are made by Oklahoma, right? These are the situations that they've gotten themselves into in this 7 straight losses, and they don't make winning plays to the point where they almost make losing plays.
Wilcher switches hands and delivers. Lead back down to 1, 61-60. Important with the game on the line starting here in this one against Texas.
I remember that he said it now that you said it.
You didn't remember before I said it.
No, when you teased us to break, I wasn't going anywhere. I wanted to find out.
Back off the mark.
And then you give up the turnover, and now you're coming this way where Texas' smaller lineup has been pretty effective offensively.
Yeah, Novo Katitis, no problem for the Horns. 8 ties, 2 lead changes so far. Swain, make it 3 lead exchanges. 62-61.
It's a much tougher cover east to west when you have the smaller lineup, and that's going to be what opens the floor for Dailyn Swain.
7-0 run for the Horns. Approaching 6 minutes to play. All of a sudden, Lloyd Noble gets quiet. Xavier Brown forced that one up. Weaver controls. Here comes Texas. Who wants it? Oh, Brown does. He stole it. Ahead to Pack. And Brown on the follow-up.
I feel like we were 1 possession away from moans and groans in this building. And I would have been super annoyed. It's like, oh, do you think that helps?
The bucket by Brown on the stick back stops a scoring drought of 2.5 minutes. Here's Wilcher again. Corner three is pure.
Yeah, if you want to moan and groan about anything, it's really going to be the defensive end right now and starting to chase. And sometimes you chase when you want it too badly, right? Like, how do you be good? Try less type of thing. Oklahoma just has to lock in defensively and stop chasing the ball.
John, what does it tell you that Texas is shooting 74% in this second half in this comeback?
Getting better.
Miller's been waiting for Simeon Wilcher to kind of ignite.
Yes.
He's got 10 points, a couple of threes in big moments in this game. Open three. And Swain controls, and here's where Swain likes to get going. He'll set up the offense with Jordan Pope. Less than 5 to play. Swain off the hezzy. Swain in the air forever.
Now, Tay Davis inexcusably got hung up on a screen. You can't do it. I would go under, but if it's too low, you have to fight, get over. You can't dance and go chest bump the guy who's setting the screen. Get around it.
Back with 21. Big shot here. Make it 23.
Talk about winning plays. Giving up the basket because you don't get over a screen. That's what loses you games. So you've got to lock in here defensively. Be unscreenable.
Pope left wide open. Too easy for Texas. Horns have their largest lead at 5.
Now, pros do a good job of learning how to get around screens. They don't use their arms. They just pop what I meant. But that's the issue. And that's why we're going to talk about winning plays here down the stretch, because every little thing matters on both ends of the floor.
Back to Reed. Great look out of the timeout. Really, 70 to 67.
Really nice by Reed on the sit down and just having the patience to wait to see what defenders do, because there was a lot of congestion in the paint. They all went for a shot block.
When Porter Moser over there, top of your screen, was down in his defensive stance, imploring his team on this possession. Pope left open for a second, was fouled, and it's Yelatontsev with the rebound. Oklahoma back to work. Suddenly down by 6. Sooners led by as many as 14 points. Those games where they had the double-digit advantage coming against some elite competition, including Nebraska and Alabama. They were up 16 against the Huskers, team that just lost its first game this past week. Pack forced that one up. It's an air ball.
I mean, they have the personnel to play with anybody. But the reality is, in the day of one-year teams, not everybody knows how to win. And winning is a skill. I don't care what anybody else says. Winning's a skill. It's not that easy. There are some freshmen out there that have been absolutely terrific. They're off the charts. But you still have to learn how to win. And that's doing a lot of little things right and doing them for the right reasons.
7 straight field goals made by Texas. Welcome to crunch time.
Also, communication has to be at its highest when you're tired, and that's right now.
Pope starting to feel it.
That's how you fight over a screen.
4 on the shot clock, Wilcher. Davis leapfrogs for the board. Over the back, Wilcher gets the steal.
It's not the right pass to make in that situation, especially when telegraphed, making a two-handed chest pass. Everybody saw it.
Oh, the crossover by Dailyn Swain. He'll lose the handle. And with 10 on the timer, stays with Texas for now. Darion Reed pointing to the bench saying he believes it should be Oklahoma basketball.
What's funny is, like, if you go and look at it, you're an official, you sit there going, okay, it might be out on them, but he also got hammered, so what do we do about that?
I mean, officials are humans too.
I think the game's better when you let them...
I mean, officials are humans too.
I think the game's better when you let them be humans. And stop trying to make them call games like robots. Again, put them in gray shirts, not black and white.
Swain finds a way in the paint, and the lead swells to 8. Now Swain with 18 points, 8 rebounds, 6 assists. He has initiated the offense. He has scored when Texas has needed him to.
Statue and not move if I have a 95% free throw shooter on.
Amounts to be a turnover for the Horns. And a brand new game. Here's Davis. Weaver skies for the rims of three-point shooting recently. Weaver missed the front end. Still a 6-point game. Sooners need a bucket. Xavier Brown. Traore right on top of him. Contested three, no.
Good shot here, and that's a problem.
Swain 6 of 7 at the line, now 7 of 8.
And there's a difference in a game as a player when you go, all right, it's time to get a good look, right? There's a certain mentality that follows that. But when you need one, it's almost too late.
$20 points for Dailyn Swain. A very quiet 20, but efficient.
He's been incredible for Sean Miller. And frankly, I don't know where the team is without Dailyn Swain.
Xavier Brown tried to use the rim as protection. Weaver clears it. And now Swain, 4 straight games with 20 points or more. He came in average. At Baylor, West Virginia coming up as soon as we're done. And Norman Brown off the mark in a game in which Oklahoma once led by 14. Sooners on the wrong end of a 79-69 score. And credit Texas, they absorbed that early body blow. And the Horns rallied. It was a 3-point game at halftime. It has been all Horns in the final 20 minutes.
Here's what I want to say about Oklahoma. They're not being beaten as much as they're losing games. Like, they're right there. I think there are times where you go, man, we got beat, right? We chased the entire game.